we're so excited to have you guys here today. We're going to talk some guns.
Yeah.
We're going to talk some
We're going
guns.
to talk some ammo.
Hopefully.
Did you guys make it out to the gun show a couple of weeks ago?
I did not.
No,
Ammo
sir.
prices seem to be holding steady. I haven't seen any dropping going on there. There's some dropping prices that I'm unaware of.
I haven't really seen anything drop.
I haven't either.
At the moment, it's kind of stable.
Yeah.
We still have some issues trying to keep 22 ammo in stock.
Well, that's everybody, isn't it?
Sure, it is. And, the price on that kind of fluctuates from, what we get it for and what we can sell it for. But it seems to be kind of holding at the moment.
Well, let
that's
me
subject to
ask you,
change.
this is a very interesting thing because the 22 long rifles, the ones, right? I mean,
Yes.
I don't know if people still shoot shorts or whatever, but most of the weapons that I have don't shoot shorts, right? The rifles don't really care for those.
22 long rifle is kind of your standard. It seems to be the easiest one to find, and there's the most rifles for it.
Yeah.
A lot of 22 Magnum, a
Mags
little
are
stronger.
hard to come by, aren't they?
The Magnums and the shorts, both.
It makes you wonder, because are they that popular of a round?
It is. I think, one, the cost of it.
Yeah.
You can have a lot of that ammo for cheaper.
Well,
than
yeah,
what
as
you could
far as
have other rounds.
sport shooting, for sure. I mean,
Right.
pennies per shot instead of, 75 cents a pop,
Sure.
which we run into that.
The 22 mag has become really popular with personal defense. A compact carry when you look at muzzle velocity, muzzle energy, and recoil.
Yes.
A lot of people are going that route.
Yeah, there's hardly any recoil. And, but that's a lot of velocity for a, for me, I want a little knockdown action, right? So the fatter lead, the less velocity, the more knockdown you get, right? And so I guess the 22 has always been a favorite among assassins. In case you didn't know, that's what they like.
Take 'em out.
They'd use the shorts and the revolvers, put it right behind the ear, and it sounds like a lady finger, and keep on moving. Not that I know anything about that, I'm just saying. But Grabow Outdoors, you got plenty of ammo on the shelf for hunters, and, 'tis the season, guys.
We do. We're gearing up. We've got a pretty good selection of shotgun ammo.
Yeah.
Rifle ammo is real strong right now. We've got pallets of 223. You
Yes.
can do a case for, I think, $375.
Oh, that's not
that's
bad.
really good.
That's not bad at all.
In case price on ammo, 9mm full metal jacket too.
Wow.
I think it's $240.
Excellent. That's a good deal.
So
there are some deals to be had at Grabow.
yeah.
Not everywhere, but Grabow's got some deals.
I mean, 22. It's a scenario where our suppliers, we don't even, call them and order them. We just have a standing order. When you get it, just send it to us.
Right.
Whether it's
Right,
one
it's just
box or it's a
back-ordered,
pallet,
back-ordered,
doesn't matter.
whatever.
Just send it to us. Because we see customers, and Pete sees them. You can count on them at least once or twice a week. They'll come in, roll back, and 22. I mean, they come in regularly and buy it.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, is that a loadable round? Do you ever see anybody reloading 22s? I mean, that's I've
one
never seen it.
I really don't see or hear much of.
Well, I know Robert purchased an aftermarket reloading kit for a 22, but I'm not sure if he's ever successfully completed it. But I did see him open the package at the store.
really. So
Yes.
they are out there.
Yeah, some time versus money scenario on that one.
There's no doubt, because you can imagine dealing with little 22 shells trying to load those babies.
Yeah, when you're reloading, you got to kind of factor your time in. We
Yeah.
had boxes of, I think, 400 rounds out there last week for $34, $35.
$40.
And I mean, how long is it going to take you to load 400 rounds of 22?
A decade. Yeah, that's crazy.
One of the items in the news here in recent days is Lieutenant Governor of California, this Gavin Newsom, right? He's out of San Francisco. He is, they can't take your guns, though they would like, on the left.
Yeah.
But they want to limit your access to ammunition. And so he's calling for a ballot measure for new gun restrictions in California. We've kind of been in California this morning and it seems to be all coming out of San Francisco.
A lot of crazy people.
That they had the student elections, but the principal wasn't happy because too many white kids won and not enough black kids and other minorities and not enough girls won. And so
it was an 80-20 school.
So she suspended the election results.
Yeah.
She put a pause on democracy because even though there were these elections in San Francisco, unless you do it their way, then it doesn't count. So the same thing, you got this guy, Gavin Newsom. He was the former mayor of San Francisco, now the lieutenant governor. He's got his eyes set on being the governor. He's wanting to seize on some of these shootings. Now he wants to limit access
To ammo.
to ammunition, which, as you fellas can imagine, the NRA is none too happy.
Well, and this is a sneak around, guys. We all recognize it when we see it, right?
Yes.
But they can't come and get your gun. But how good is that gun with no ammo, right?
It's like a hungry rat. They're going to come in. They're going to try to find your food. If they can't get in one way, they're going to find another.
Yeah.
And they're going to keep coming until they're satisfied.
Yeah. And a question was posed to Hillary Clinton whether or not she would be in favor of like the Australian style of gun, just gathering up the guns. And that's what Australia recently had done. And she said she'd be for that sort of thing. How about that?
Yeah, it's amazing that like Hillary Clinton would even make a trip
me?
down to Alabama. I mean, Martin O'Malley in the Democratic debate last week, they asked him, who's your biggest enemy that you're proud of that you've made enemies with? He said the National Rifle Association.
Yeah, that's exactly what
that doesn't really play well in the South, fellas. It's not going to play well here in Alabama.
No.
Not at all.
It's just it's disturbing. But ammunition, as you know, we've got Remington in North Alabama
Yes.
now, right? Has that helped anything along the fronts of availability, shipping? Has any of that come into play with you guys?
We've yet to see any fruits of that, but I have had customers that that want to shop with us because we're local and Remington has moved to Alabama. They want to support an Alabama company. They look at Remington products.
Yes.
When you got Remington pistols, rifles, shotguns,
I'm the same way.
I want to support them, and I
Sure.
want to support you guys.
And I appreciate what Remington did. They kind of thumbed their nose up to New York
Yeah.
and come on down south where they felt welcomed, and they were welcomed.
Yeah, I mean, pro business and pro gun, and there's nothing to be there's nothing shameful about that.
No, of course not. And so I'm in that camp as well. I'm big into Remington. I think it's a cool thing that we got them here.
Yeah.
But ammunition, guns. You got guns for sale right now at Grabow. Are there any particular deals now you want to bring forth that hunting season, gun season's right around the corner, and there's people like me that just can't wait to smell a little gunpowder. So I have an idea that y'all may have a few guns there that you
Remington
can sell.
is currently running. Speaking of Remington, they're currently running a rebate offer on rifles, shotguns, pistols, and ammo. And they're going to run a double rebate offer. It's from November the 20th through November the 30th. Their standard manufacturer's rebate, if it's 25, it's going to be 50. If it's 50, it's going to be 100.
Wow. Okay. So you got 10 days to take advantage of that.
Take advantage of it. So you have to, of course, it's a rebate by mail. You have to follow their guidelines, proof of purchase.
Right.
But right now, I looked yesterday, an 870 pump, world's most popular pump shotgun.
Been around forever.
Right now it's on the shelf at $299.
Yeah, that's
you buy it during that 10-day period, it's $250.
Yeah, that's
for a Remington 870 pump shotgun.
I mean, that's a great shotgun. And the 870, I don't know how long it's been around. It's been around as long as I have.
10+ million sold.
Yeah, and so I've never seen anybody have problems with it. Have you ever had one come in that had jammed or messed up or? I mean, I've never seen one mess up.
I mean,
The Remington 870s are kind of a standard.
Yeah.
You'll see it in a number of different configurations. We've got the hunting end of it,
Right.
the longer barrels.
Right.
You also have a little bit shorter barrels with longer magazines for personal defense. But
Right.
The Remington 870 is kind of a standard
Yes,
for
it sure
12-gauge
is.
shotguns.
It sure is, and I've had one for years, and I still use it today. I've gotten lazy though. I like the automatic. I've got a little automatic that I like to go dove hunting.
That might be a good place for me to start, right?
Oh, the 870 is
that's a good place.
Great weapon.
You add in that rebate, that's good to go.
Yeah, and you can carry it in your car without any worries of having permit.
I spend that on fast food every week, buddy.
That's true. I mean, you just give up fast food.
a rebate.
No rebates. When is McDonald's going to offer a rebate?
Man, like, come on.
That's not right. Well, I tell you, when we get back, we're going to take a quick break. When we get back, I want to ask you guys about this assault weapon ban that has recently gotten more airplay again.
Okay.
And who decides what an assault weapon is? Are not all weapons assault weapons? I don't understand how they discern what an assault weapon is, but we'll get into that. All right, welcome in. 17 minutes after the hour. We're talking a little bit about bans, assault rifle bans, and we got our good friends from Grabow, so I know you guys are the experts, and I know these stories were kind of new this week, and I had heard a little bit about it, read a little bit about it, but basically in Chicago, you had the Supreme Court hold up an assault rifle ban, and there was a doctor there that challenged that ban, and that brings into the conversation of, I think people that do not know anything about arms or guns or ammunition or anything else, they're quick to label things when they don't understand them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I mean, they don't understand that all guns are an assault gun. I mean, what's the difference between an assault rifle and my 270 lever action? I mean, how is it a not assault rifle?
The operator's intent is the difference.
Isn't it?
It's not the gun.
That's all it is.
Intent.
Is it not?
I can assault you with a hoe.
Of course you
or
can.
a coffee cup.
Of course you can.
It's not the gun. And of course the media has taken several guns, which are the ones that seem to be, you see more.
Sure.
The AR-15s,
Yeah.
the AK-47s, and they villainized them.
Of course.
Keep in mind, these are the tools that our protectors, our military, our law enforcement, these are the tools that they use to defend us. If they weren't using those to protect our cities and our states and our borders, you wouldn't even have the right to complain about this stuff.
Well, Pete, it's amazing to me that of all the active shootings that we've had in this country, how many of them were conducted with assault-style weapons?
Less than they try to portray.
I know. It's like, you would think that these ARs and stuff, everybody's just going crazy with them and hitting schools up or something.
Yeah, I mean, if they want to get really technical about it, you look at the 223, the 5.56.
Yeah.
You look at the ballistics and what that is, and you compare it to a semi-automatic 30-06.
Right.
Or if someone is shooting a semi-automatic 338 Lapua.
Yeah. It's a much more deadly weapon.
And I think it's just they're going off how it looks.
Yep.
It looks scary.
Yep.
If it looks scary, it's got to be scary.
Yeah.
So
the only reason you would buy the scary-looking gun is if you have bad intentions.
If you're a scary person and you want to hurt someone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not that you would ever want to, be able to defend yourself or your family or be able to go out and shoot for fun. We went out to a match this weekend at Brock's Gap Training Center, and there was probably 150 competitors there.
Right.
A lot of people, and great group of guys. Nobody out there trying to frighten anybody or do anything like that. Exercising their freedom.
And how about their gun etiquette? Did you see some pretty good etiquette?
It was
out there?
incredible.
Yeah. When you have that many people together, you see some crazy stuff. Unless they're all professional shooters.
Well, and it was a good blend. You had a lot of ex-military snipers. Professional marksmen. You had civilian marksmen that were their competitors out there shooting. Really, really high level of skill and a great level of respect. And that's one of the good things about that. You've got military guys, you've got non-military, you've got law enforcement. They blend out there, and they're all of the same mindset. We're training, we're practicing, we're out here competing. We're not doing anything wrong.
Yeah, it is so disturbing. Now, of course, they're talking about Hillary in particular. She's all about being able to see the manufacturers of the guns. So if someone uses a gun in a crime, then they're willing to sue somebody over it. Now, last week in the news, I'm sure you guys saw this one, where a shop was sued.
Wisconsin, straw purchase.
Did you see that?
Yes.
And they were sued over the straw purchase. And for those of you who haven't read the story, don't know about the story, a straw purchase is when someone allegedly purchases a weapon for someone that's not available to buy it, right?
That was the same scenario where the policewoman in Nebraska was killed. It was a straw purchase, I think, done out of Georgia.
Correct.
Sent it to her boyfriend.
Right. Now, let me just ask you this, because this escapes me. How does going after the store going to stop that from happening?
Doesn't.
It makes as much sense as trying to sue Hoover Tamarron because somebody wrecked an Accord.
Yeah.
They're taking away our personal responsibility to take care of ourselves and trying to replace it.
Right. And it just doesn't make sense to me.
I mean, it's no different than, going after the fast food industry because I'm overweight, or, You know,
Now, Russell's got a case. Let's be honest.
I think that's fair.
He could. I mean,
I will tell you, there was a story out yesterday about McDonald's having to do some massive closings of stores, but I cannot be blamed if they shutter anything.
there's no doubt.
It's not going to be.
You've done your part, brother.
It's not going to be my fault. Word coming out in the last 24 hours that an aide to Hillary Clinton says she's not in favor of gun confiscation, which is interesting.
She just said that she was. Yeah.
She was in support of mandatory buybacks.
So maybe this aide didn't hear her say that.
Or it was politically expedient to say it in front of the Democrats during the debate for the big applause.
Right.
And then when it's, you can't win that way.
Right.
Oh, well, not nearly as in favor. So.
I don't know if you guys saw the Democratic debate, but this came up a few times, and I appreciate if you didn't because it was a yawn fest. And it was disturbing. It disturbed me on many levels. But no one mentioned the Second Amendment, ever. And every time they brought up, well, we need to bring home the loophole, these gun show loopholes they've got to do something with, and they've got to start being able to sue the manufacturers when guns are used in crimes. That's the most nonsense I've ever heard in my life.
It's easy, low-hanging legislation.
Isn't it?
It's kind of the common sense is a lost art.
The old knee-jerk reaction kind of stuff that never shows to be proven out in the court of public opinion.
Well, to be honest, Webb did say that he felt strongly that Americans had the right to protect themselves.
That's true. And news out today, he's considering running as an independent.
Yeah, you can't run as a Democrat with that point of view.
He obviously needs to get out of that party in a hurry, right? But, he did. He was the only one that ever mentioned anything. But, yeah, so the others are just sitting there shaking their head.
Well, it's,
But we're all about Second Amendment. So is Grabow Outdoors.
Pro gun.
You can go by today and buy you a gun at Grabow Outdoors. And you got some training classes coming up anytime soon?
We're looking at doing a Women in Target possibly in March, which will be all women shooting clinic. We're working on scheduling that right now.
See, and that's the great thing. And that's one of the things I applaud you guys at Grabow. I'm so impressed that you guys take the initiative.
Gun safety.
You're not just into selling a bunch of guns. You want people to be informed about the gun that they have, understand the way it works, how it works, and how you handle it. And I think that you can go at Grabow's and you can get your weapon and you can get the training that you need to
Well,
use
I mean, if they're in a situation where they may not want to wait, Pete and Robert, they can and we'll offer individual private lessons on groups.
Yeah.
So, hey, if you want to get for having a Grabow sanctioned group event, or if you want, hey, I'd like to get my wife and my kids, or all of us come as a family group, hey, they'll do a private group as far as a group lesson.
That is awesome. And I think that's where everybody needs to start. If you've never had a gun, you've never been a hunter, you've never been around guns, the last thing that Grabow or I would advocate is you go buy you a weapon today, don't get any training, then just go out and start shooting it.
We've seen that end with some bad results.
That's usually not good.
Yeah.
How many slides have you seen torn the skin out of somebody's hand?
We've seen a lot.
A lot of that,
right? Yes, sir.
And so, having the right training, understanding your weapon, being able to take it apart. I think disassemble and assemble is the reason why the military does that. The military, every military guy you've ever known, they can break down their weapon in just a matter of seconds, right? Well, that's teaching you something, right? You're learning your weapon, and you're going to understand how it works mechanically.
Well, you think in our home, every home in Alabama, in it, we have deadly chemicals, right?
Oh, my gosh.
You've got cleaners, these types of things, bleach and that kind of thing. If they were misused, you could die.
Yes.
That doesn't mean you have a house without any cleaners, but you lock them up, you keep them out of reach of children.
That's right.
You have protections in place, and you educate yourself and you educate your children. And it's not that you outlaw all these things, but there are some dangerous things that have great usefulness.
Yes.
And the same is true with the gun.
You think of ammonia and bleach.
Yeah.
Deadly
Chemical
combination.
pneumonia. People get in the shower and clean it, pour it in the shower, and turn the hot water on.
Yes, sir. Bad news.
Yep.
Don't want to breathe that stuff.
Nope.
And so there are all sorts of deadly things. But Grabow Outdoors, we're so glad you guys are here. Anything else on the agenda, fellas?
Yes, we've lucky enough we've teamed up with Smith & Wesson.
Oh, boy.
The reps from Smith & Wesson will be in studio This is a pre-Black Friday guys get together.
What?
Hey,
that.
no purse patrol for the guys on the 20th and the 21st.
Nice.
Smith & Wesson reps will be in store. We're going to have special pricing on
Nice.
Smith & Wesson revolvers, long guns, and pistols.
Wow. I'm a big fan of Smith & Wesson.
So it's kind of, hey, prices may be a little too low to advertise. So come out, meet the reps, meet the guys. You know, the reps from Smith & West, they're supposed to have some free swag. You know, that'd be maybe a free magazine. You can always have an extra magazine, hat, a range bag, a T-shirt. Just you know, get the good gear. So
Yes.
let us have our day the week before, and you go chase the malls at 3 a.m. the following weekend.
There you go.
That's not bad.
That makes perfect sense to me.
So, I mean, that's one of several things we'll have. I mean, we'll have special pricing on, you know, feeders and knives and trail cameras, hooded sweatshirts and tree stands. And, you know, we're working on a deal with, hopefully with Orca coolers. Maybe we can have a special deal on some Orca gear, too.
Absolutely. That's fabulous. How you going to beat that? Grabow Outdoors.
And that's the first day you can purchase one of the Remington 870s and get the double mail-in rebate.
Yeah, on the 20th, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Now I don't know what to do.
Do you
a
get
rifle? Do
Well,
a handgun?
no, you get a
Shotgun?
Smith & Wesson handgun.
Okay.
Okay. Maybe the 9, stainless, and then you get the 870 pump shotgun.
Dude, that's fantastic.
Oh, that's a kaboom.
That must happen.
Hey,
Oh.
even better, hey, if you don't want to spend your cash, we offer in-store financing
Now we're
through
talking.
Synchrony Bank.
Okay.
12 months, 6 months, deferred,
Same as cash.
deferred interest.
Wow.
Take a few minutes, fill out the application. They approve you online. Boom, you get your purchase, save your cash or something else.
Right.
He said, boom.
$25 a week.
We're going boom.
Boom.
Yeah.
Phone number here, 941-1011, Grabow Outdoors. You know, you hear us talk with our buddies every Tuesday morning, but we really do hope you go by and check out their location. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 till 6. I-65 in Fultondale, Highway 31 up on the hill. Easy to get to. And just check out their website this morning, Grabow Outdoors.
Plenty of parking if you got your four-wheelers on your trailers and stuff. Don't
Yeah.
worry. Just pull on up there, man. You got plenty of room to turn around. They laid this thing out like a bunch of professionals. What
Yeah.
they've done. So get by there today and buy something.
When we come back, can we talk about how not to be a knucklehead with your weapons? Because, you know, some people, you can hurt yourself in a hurry
Yes, please.
if you're not managing it properly.
There's no doubt.
I'm a knucklehead all the time. We're going to stop that. We're going to put an end to that without putting an end to me. 941-1011.
I'll start
Grabow
you on a
Outdoors.
daisy.
I've got one of those.
Oh, okay.
I love it. I dominate.
Move him up to Red Rider.
Moving them up the Red Riders. We're here with our friends from Grabow Outdoors. If you got any questions, comments, conversations going on right now.
I have questions.
Yes.
I want to know if Pete's beaten anybody down recently.
Have you had to put the beat down on
sir.
anybody?
I have not.
Dadgummit.
No, sir.
I wish
I
that-
practice awareness and avoidance, and it usually
That's the best way to
serves
do
me
it.
well.
Right.
One of our, I want to keep it as generic as possible. I'll save it for later. We had a personal defense expert on with one of our colleagues, and he was fine. But I thought, man, he needs to talk to Pete. It sounded like that guy needed to have a little bit of
chit-chat.
a little chit chat. I'm just saying that
Yeah.
because I think Pete knows his stuff.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that awareness factor, that's something you teach in your gun classes as well. Now, that's the thing that I really dislike about, we've all known those gun owners that are all too quick to show you their gun. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And some of those people, when they get angry, they're all too quick to try to back someone up with their showing of a weapon. Now, Pete, here's the thing. If you show me your weapon and you're beady-eyed and angry at me at that time, do I have the right to shoot you?
It depends on what your perception of the threat is.
Well, the thing is,
you know.
it's in your hand, you're mad screaming at me, and you want me to see that gun. You see, that's the thing, that people get themselves in these positions. You were talking about situation awareness. That's something you guys teach people. And when you get a gun, that doesn't give you a license to go out here and be like Billy Bad, you know what?
We have a concept when we train, and we call it concealed carry lifestyle. And it's that when you make that decision that I'm going to carry, I'm going to have the gun with me.
Yeah.
And that's it. I'm going to have it with me for defense. I'm hoping that through awareness and avoidance, I never have to bear that weapon.
Correct.
But I also take into account, okay, now that I'm armed, even a simple argument, say at Arby's in the in the line, could turn into a physical altercation where that gun may be a factor. So I have to resist my urge to respond to somebody's negative criticism of something I'm doing or something rude.
Who cares?
Hey, look, I'm trying to do my thing, do my business. I'm trying to make it to work and get home. The gun is not a factor for me in an argument. Well, if he doesn't agree with what I say or they don't like it, I'm going to show him my gun.
Yeah.
Honestly, for me, if I'm in a situation like that and somebody is angry and we're having words and they reach for their gun,
that's bad.
That for me is the cue to draw and shoot.
That's
I'm
correct.
not going to wait to see what they're doing.
I'm not going to let you look at it.
Gun.
I'm going to let you see a muzzle flash.
And you kind of, when they do that, when they reach for that gun and they pull it, they put themselves in that spot where you're coming up against another person.
Yes.
You may not know what they're capable of or what they have.
That's correct.
And you really want to try very hard to avoid it.
You got to measure that decision very, very carefully. And I think we've all seen people make mistakes with that. Luckily, I haven't had any of them shot dead, but it's not a license to go around here and start flashing your gun like you're somebody. You're supposed to never pull it unless you're ready to pull the trigger.
Absolutely.
That's the rule, right?
Absolutely.
And so, Southern Man's got a little question for us. Hey, Southern Man, welcome in.
Good morning, guys. Y'all talking my subject. I love it. But I just had a little comment on this. Let me tell you, they worried about these black guns, these spooky guns and all that stuff. Let me tell you what I've learned to do. I got about a 72-year-old vintage Mosin Nagant with a 10x50 leatherwood scope and a fiber force drop-in stock. Let me tell you something. That baby is a UN Jeep killing machine. It's about 3/4 of a mile, and I ain't joking, buddy. So, if ISIS wants to bring it on down south, they better be very careful about where they start their little picnic because I don't think that these people down here in the South is just going to lay down like them bunch of Yankees up there because we are a different mindset. So, we love everybody. And I mean, you know what I know. We get along with everybody, but we're kind of like a dog. You can kick us and we'll still love you, but when you take us in that corner and you kick us one too many times, guess what? You fixing to get bit. That's all I got to say on that matter. But, hey, I would like to hear more about you talking about Smith & Wesson down there. In an 870 shotgun. I just kind of picked up on the tail end of that. Could you lighten up a little more on that and tell me what that is all about?
Yeah, Remington 870 pumps. We have them in the store right now. They're $299 right off the rack. I have them in black, synthetic, and wood. They have a $25 mail-in rebate now. But if you wait and purchase it between the 20th of November and the 30th of November, that rebate is doubled to $50.
Well, I may have to come down there and visit y'all.
Please come on down. Come see us. We'd love to put one in your hands.
That's a great shotgun for $250.
One more question.
Yes.
I've been looking for a Coach gun, double barrel, 18.5 inch, double hammer, and it's like somebody stole all of them. Well, where can a fella get his hands on one of them nowadays?
We've got one in 12 gauge on the shelf out there right now.
You fooling me?
Not at all.
Well, is it a vintage or is it a remake?
It's a reproduction. It's made by Century Arms, but we sell a lot of them, and the quality is good on them.
Well, I just might have to come on down there and pay you a visit then.
Come on and see us.
Well, I appreciate the show, guys. Y'all keep it up. Y'all got my interest all picked up when you go talking about gunpowder and stuff like that.
Hey, speaking of gunpowder, we got plenty of reloading supplies too, Southern Man.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to have to get my other gunslinging buddy. We're going to have to come down there and spend some money, I think.
Spend some money, burn some powder.
Absolutely.
I hear you. I think y'all have a good one.
We'll see you, Southern Man.
That's good. Phone number here, 941-1011. Friday night in Kansas, you hear a guy cry out, "Oh, my God, I just shot myself. I just got my conceal and carry." This dude shot himself in the leg. Fellas, what's this guy doing?
He put his finger through the trigger, and when you're not supposed to.
Now, you might not want to do that.
Well, how bad was the movie 45 minutes in that he's playing with his gun?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Was it a chick flick? I hate this movie so bad I shot myself to get away from his wife.
I mean, did he get raisinets on it or something? Did he have to handle the gun?
Jeez.
What is this cat doing?
stupid.
That is no good.
And he's going to jail, right? He should. I think we should lock people up like that. What do you think, guys? I mean, that's discharging a firearm in a public place. You could have killed somebody.
It does say that police treated it as a medical emergency as opposed to a live shooter scenario. Here's what I tell you: we don't have the name of the fella.
Yeah,
he's got to be a fatty, and you know
you're right. He's a big fat guy. He's
rooting around.
Popcorn, yeah, butter all over his hand.
Now you guys got to help me because I worry this kind of thing would happen to me because I told you in church the other day I'd turn my phone off. But my big fat pants.
Turn it on because I'm large, and it made a lot of noise. But it making the noise as it's firing up. If you can't do anything about it.
I know. Look at me turn your phone off. I can't because it's just now turning on.
Your pants made the noise, or the phone? You wearing corduroys?
No, the phone did. Oh, the corduroy. Yeah, it set fire. You know that rubbing. There's too much friction.
Too much friction for corduroy.
I would burn the place down. But when it comes to concealed carry, what are some of the steps that people need to go through to where they're not shooting themselves in the leg when they're watching the movie in Kansas?
Well, first of all, I can't. I just heard about this morning. David just told me about it. I can't imagine why, sitting in the theater, he felt the need to handle the gun.
Me either.
If it was in a holster, well, it was secure, and it wasn't falling out, there's really no need to be monkeying with your gun while you're in the movie theater.
No doubt about it.
You should know what condition it's in. There's no need to check it to make sure it's loaded while you're in the theater.
Yeah. Why would you do
you
that?
should know that.
Yeah.
And it just amazes me. And, the thing is, and this sounds bad, luckily, he just shot himself.
Yeah, absolutely.
It could have been mom with two kids in the chairs in front of him.
That's why I'm saying he should go to jail.
Well, there should be
a little time in the lockup may get him thinking a little bit. That's just crazy.
A little time to clink.
We had a story last year where a lady left her gun in her 5-year-old's backpack, and she sent him to school. They found the gun. They never charged her with anything. Is that not reckless endangerment of a child?
Well, it's things like this that the anti-gun movement they seize upon.
Absolutely.
And they use it to whip everybody into a frenzy. Just how guns are dangerous. People get bit by dogs.
Yes,
people get by small dogs. People get bit by big dogs.
Yeah.
If you're going to classify
all
dogs
are dangerous.
All dogs are dangerous.
Right.
That's an assault dog.
Assault
that
dog.
little teacup, whatever.
You're going to have to pass a background check for that dog, sir. Are you buying food for that dog? We need to see your ID.
Let's go out here to Dennis. Dennis has got a question. Hey, Dennis.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
What's up, buddy?
Hey, got a little bad connection. I kind of lose you. You may still hear me. Hey, does that 870 come in a 20 gauge or 12 only?
Right now, it's in a 12 only. We had one of our suppliers. I guess they overbought and they ran a special to us. It's you can get them in 2 finishes and a 12 gauge, and so we took advantage of it because that's the only thing they had to offer us at the time was at a special buy was on the 12 gauge version.
But y'all got 20 gauge.
Yeah,
pumps.
we can get the 20 gauge.
Sure.
Is it the tactical version?
No, this is the field gauge. This is your standard field version with one choke.
Can you get a tactical in a 20?
I do have a Remington 870 in a 20 gauge and tactical. I want to say it's an 8-round or 9-round tube.
Yeah.
But we do have one of those on the shelf, just one.
Is it? It's not the $299 special.
That one is not $299. I can't remember the price, but that's a little bit more.
Just the 870 Express pump. That's the one they're running the rebate on.
I got you. Okay. All right. Well, thanks, guys.
Appreciate you, Dennis.
Thank you, Dennis. Yeah, that sounds like a wicked little 20 gauge. And a 20 gauge slug, for those of you who don't know.
20 gauge, a lot of people will think, I got to have a 12 gauge. 20 gauge is extremely effective at close range.
Oh, you better
buckshot or slug, and it makes it easier for a smaller person to handle it.
Right.
And it's a lot more fun to practice with. It seems like no matter what you do with 12 gauge, it beats you pretty good when you're on the range.
Sure does.
And it's much easier to practice with the 20.
Yeah. Well, we got to take a quick break. Our last break of the hour. When we get back, we'll wrap it up. All right, welcome back in. 11 minutes before the hour.
Just a little bit of time left with Grabow Outdoors, and we've been talking a little bit about politics and as it relates to gun ownership and Second Amendment rights. And you had some Democrats talking about mandatory buybacks or confiscation. Hillary Clinton backing away for those for now until she needs to trot it out again.
Until she talks to somebody.
We did have some fun yesterday talking about in Virginia, they've outlawed the Sons of the Confederacy
The flag.
motorized tags,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Or vehicle tags, and
Dixie
they're
flag on the state tag, they're outlawed them.
and they're requiring them
They've
to be turned
recalled
back in,
them.
but no one's turning them back in.
Nobody's
so
turning them
if
in.
Virginia can't figure out how to get a license plate
Tags.
back,
Come on, you're going to get their gun?
yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, good luck. Yeah, there were over 1,600 of these specialized Sons of the Confederate tags sold in Virginia. Has just a little tiny Dixie flag at the bottom. And they decided that was horrible, and the state of Virginia ordered a recall of those tags. Basically, their tags are null and void on their cars. They're not even accepted anymore. But out of 1,600 tags, they've only gotten 116 of them turned back in.
How much tax revenue are they willing to give up for this?
That's a good point, isn't it?
Yeah. If you stop me, well, that's improper stop, improper seizure.
Yeah, isn't it?
What'd you stop me for? Your tag? Well, no, it's still
got
valid.
The state tag. No, it's not valid because the state has recalled that tag, and you were supposed to turn it in.
And that's the thing that kind of leads to people starting to lose their faith in the governor.
Doesn't it?
I mean,
Doesn't it?
they're going to make a law.
Seriously.
They make me buy the tag. Then they tell me it's not valid.
Yeah, that's nuts. And I paid $50 more to them.
I want my
to
money
get that
back, too.
tag. So there's always that. Interesting conversation, though, and
But the
that's a
lottery
good
will
point.
solve all our problems.
Sure it will. All we need is a lottery.
Yeah.
They can't even pay that. Y'all saw that story out of Illinois?
Yes.
They're not even paying the lottery winnings.
600 is the maximum, is that right?
Yeah, anything over 600, they don't even pay it. Could you imagine hitting something that you had so many astronomical odds to hitting and they won't pay you?
Can I tell you a 30-second lottery confession from the weekend?
Lay it on me.
So I'm in Georgia, stop at a gas station, I buy a scratch-off ticket. I win $5.
Congratulations.
I'm very excited. I walk from the register to the bathroom. I'm in the bathroom. Some fella, now he did not see me. He's like, hey, man, when you're done, I'm out of gas. Could I bum $5 off of you? I'm like, man.
What?
So it's a good thing I hadn't won the millions. Be like, hey, man, can I borrow $1 million? So,
Now, wait a minute. You had a guy come into the bathroom where you were at and ask for $5.
well, he just came into the stall. Is that weird? Is that not how it...
Under the stall?
He had a wide stance. It was so strange.
That'll be $5, please.
EPA regulations, 2 on 1. Save the water.
That'll be $5.
Yeah.
I'll get out of your personal space for $5.
Take all I got.
Gosh, that's disturbing.
Took my manhood and my $5.
We got to get him a gun.
And a backbone.
I can't believe you brought that up.
Hey, this mic, it's hot. That's a hot mic. You're the host.
Coming in hot.
Yeah.
In my life, I think my embarrassing moments make for good radio.
Oh, that's true.
It's not good for self-worth and dignity,
That's true.
but it's entertaining.
But people love you for it.
Yes, absolutely.
Anyway,
Russ doing
does
a
that
good
remind
job.
anybody of a story? No, I didn't think so.
That's Smith & Wesson going to be at Grabow Outdoors on the November the 20th, huh?
And the 21st.
Oh, and I tell you what, that's when we're going to go get you a handgun.
Oh, that's good.
That's a great time to go out there.
In case I get confronted in the bathroom again.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's a good photo op. You with the Smith & Wesson rep. You know,
Yes. It is a
guaranteed to
good
get a
photo.
lot of Facebook likes.
And get that 870 Remington. You said double the rebate
Yes.
from the 20th through the 30th?
Yeah, that's correct.
So if you buy that 870 pump, you're going to save $50.
Yeah.
You're going to get an 870 Remington for $250?
Yep.
That's quite a shotgun, and that's quite a deal.
So one other thing that we haven't mentioned since we've been here is we are now offering suppressors
Okay.
for rifles and handguns.
Okay.
So if you're in the market looking for a suppressor, come by, talk to the guys. We can help you with that and assist you with the paperwork and all the fees associated with it.
Nice. They got it all at Grabow. That's all you got to know. Get by there today. Tell them you heard about them right here. Tell them, go by and see Dave today. You going to be at work today?
All day.
Go by and see Dave. Tell him you heard him this morning and buy something. They got everything you need right there at
Come
Grabow.
by, stimulate the economy.
We'll see you guys tomorrow right here on The Guys. Thanks, guys, for being here.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for having us.